So with that title sequence out of the way, it's time to get right into Mega Man Unlimited. I did a short-lived poll on my server to figure out what game I should evaluate next. I've been through 3 Classic Series games so far, but I thought it would be a nice opportunity to take a break and maybe look at some fan content. I'm not surprised at all that Unlimited won, but I have quite a few things to say about this game. It's one of the oldest Mega Man fan games, and probably one of the most well-known, probably the most well-known Mega Man fan game, I would say. And I think this game is great. For 2013, certainly this game was amazing, and I played this game at school all the time when I had nothing to do, trying to beat the endless mode, and I have a lot of good memories with it. So let's just get right into kind of analyzing. Although the main menu here presents a lot of options right away, I will point out briefly that I have beaten both Whirlpool Man and the Omega Robot Masters, and what that does is the Whirlpool Man stage gives you water cannon to use in the main game, so you'll be seeing me have that. It's pretty useful. And the Omega Robot Master challenge is seen here. Double your weapon energy. I just find these little fun modifications. Nothing wrong with having a bit more ammo than usual, so I'll be proceeding with that. And of course we're going to use Mega Man at first. Maybe I'll look at Z Prototype later, but for now we'll use Mega Man. Obviously original, and I prefer to play with the charge. I just like the charge. So, just like any other classic Mega Man game, it's 8 Robot Masters. Really, everything about this game is presented as if it's a normal classic Mega Man title. Really, you wouldn't know this from a main series game. If somebody told you this was a real Mega Man game, I sure as hell would believe that. As far as who to tackle first, I think Comet Woman is usually the best choice. You don't want to go after any of the Robot Masters on the far left column or Tank Man first, because otherwise you'll have to revisit their stages to get the letters for a hidden stage, which I'll talk about later. So anyways, programming and mechanics wise, this game was actually made in C++, so it has slightly different physics to a lot of the other stuff that people have played, which are usually made in Game Maker. But as far as the mechanics go, everything is pretty solid here. I couldn't really find anything wrong with this if you asked me. Slide jumping, shooting, everything works as you would expect. I like how the mid-charge shot is this orb, and the charge shot itself, fully charged, looks really good too. Nothing to complain about. Graphically, this game is also really fantastic. Even right here on the first screen, you can see everything is gorgeous. Space background, I love this little comet animation. So with all that yammering out of the way, let's get into actually looking at the game. So right off the bat here, got some nice surprises. This will definitely trip you up the first time. Probably won't see that coming. And then this enemy here, pretty basic, just shoots. This thing is similar to an enemy from Mega Man V for Game Boy, or Mega Man 5 Game Boy, I guess. But one thing this game is really known for is having a lot of spikes and being pretty challenging overall. Since I've played it quite a few times, you might see me struggle less than your average player. Some people will probably have more trouble with this than I do, simply because they don't know what's coming. Anyways, tellies, they have these spikes, this big spike on them, and as you would expect, that spike reflects projectiles off. Here you have spines, they react exactly as you would expect, and since I brought up the pause menu, nothing's wrong with this menu. It's great, it's visually fine, everything is communicated. I find it weird that the Yoku letters are in the middle of the menu, like between 2 other weapons. That's something that I always found a bit weird, but really nothing important. So this stage has a number of gimmicks. It kind of resembles Jupiter's stage from Mega Man 5 Game Boy in that it has this ice, and a lot of enemies that shoot sparks. So these electric things, they travel along rails, kind of similar to the Crashman platforms, but as an obstacle. And, you're supposed to dodge them and all, but speaking really has me doing a kind of subpar job of talking. I'm gonna have to pause every now and again. They reflect your shots, which is interesting. I'm not sure if I ever noticed that before. Really, I don't have much to complain about. The design can be kind of iffy in this game sometimes. This jump is kind of obnoxious, but it's a challenge for a life, so Oh, well, alright. Yeah. That's what happens when you don't pay enough attention to your surroundings. So I'm all the way back at the beginning of the stage, which, you know, this game has pretty punishing checkpoint placement. I think there's only one checkpoint in every stage. So if you die, you're going a ways back. That's one of the things that makes this game kind of challenging to some people. I'm just going to be going through this segment again since, you know, obviously I just went through it. One of the reasons I recommend coming to this stage first, especially if you have the whirlpool, the water cannon, is because Comet Woman is weak to it, and Comet Dash, the weapon, is pretty useful for other stages. Just my personal recommendation. Alright, we're just going to be ignoring that life. I'm probably going to die again trying to get it, so... I think this is the checkpoint screen, so... Kind of, tough. Hard as nails. That spike dodge looks really iffy. It almost feels like you should have gotten hit by it, but you just barely graze it. The music in this game is also really good. This isn't one of my favorite tracks, but there are a lot of really nice tunes. I'll talk about them when I get there. The stage gets a little repetitive, like we're just sparks over and over again, but I don't think it's not really something I would complain about. It's making good use of its gimmicks. I'm trying to be a bit more cautious here since I have such low HP. Yeah, I should probably go for this health. Try not to die on the way out. I pretty much like everything that's presented here. The stage length is about right as well. That didn't feel excessively long. This jump is really wide though. Even if you stand on the very edge, you just barely make it. Like that. That looks so precise. So much more precise than you would expect. So, Comet Woman. All the bosses in this game have really respectable AI. There's nothing amiss here. The way Comet Woman works, she shoots this circling projectile and then she dashes. The circling projectiles alternate between going horizontal at you and vertical, and you know, she just dashes and creates those projectiles. Really nothing wrong with this. It's pretty good, in fact. I quite like it. I don't think there's a single boss... okay. She seems to do the dash at a random height, so sometimes you'll just get smacked like that. Of course, bustering is no issue, really. Really enjoyable fights this game has. Satisfying to pull off. And that's a wrap. Great stage. Is Mega Man notching? Something weird was going on there after the boss was dead. So anyways, like I said, oh, really good pixel art here, by the way. This graphic looks gorgeous. So, Comet Dash. Pretty much like an air dash weapon. That's about all I have to say about that. I'm gonna have to replace one of my save files. So the game has a shop. I guess now's a good time to mention that. So you can buy a bunch of stuff. E-tanks, W-tanks, energy balancer, spikes. Things that are kind of okay. I never really particularly used Eddy Call, but the Beat Call is good. The Shock Guard. These three down here are pretty useful. We only got 10 volts from that whole stage, so, you know, game doesn't give you too many of them. Anyways. From here, usually, I like to go to Yo-Yo Man. Although you could skip directly to Glue Man with not much problem. He's pretty easy as far as bosses go, but Yo-Yo Man has a really good weapon, so I prefer to just go here first. This is one of my favorite songs in the whole game. I absolutely love this song. It's so energetic. It perfectly encapsulates the aura of the stage. It's just amazing. Anyways, graphics are good. So enemies. This thing shoots the ball, it splits into 4 in the same way Dustman's projectiles do. This skateboard enemy, that's a fun yo-yo related thing. Then this thing, which is like Nuttin' and Bolton from Mega Man 3, except larger. Dies in one hit though, so nothing wrong. Oh, that respawned really quickly. Oh boy. You just have to slide under those enemies to dodge them. And breakable barriers. So the game rewards you for having weapons. Unfortunately, you need explosive weapons to break that, so. Really good enemy design. Again, very... Oh, I pressed the slide button. Well, yeah, game over. That's something you'll be seeing a lot in this game. But I stupidly pressed the slide button, thinking it would be the activate rush. Oh, nice health. That enemy comes back. Really, you can just slide past here. This yo-yo enemy thing, the tread, this also works just fine. Just, yeah, honestly, if you go fast, that's your best bet. Yeah, that part, the enemy just kind of surprises you. There are some questionable design choices, definitely. This life grab is just fine. These platforms, pretty simple gimmick. You stand on them, they go down, you jump, and then go up. Then they reset themselves after a period of time of inactivity. They work pretty much perfectly. That was good. Tight jump. Really, everything feels very much deliberately designed around the enemies, which is something I have infinite appreciation for. Even if this game kicks your ass at points, it's really a fun experience. This section pretty much just puts you to the test. You understand the gimmicks, you know how to dodge the enemies, and ow. I thought that was gonna happen. Alright. So really, I get a lot of utility out of the charge shot. I've seen some other people play this game just using normal buster shots, but I think the charge adds a dimension in the game. It has a lot of satisfying moments. Alright, just kill that from here. Not sure why I didn't think of that last time. Sometimes these yo-yo things follow you from a bit too far on the screen. And here's the first instance of bad design. This is a pretty nasty trick. If you jump off the ladder, which is a completely instinctual thing to do in Mega Man games, you'll just fall to your death. That's pretty stupid. It's like in Galaxy Man stage, they pull the same nasty trick. At least you don't fall on that enemy there. You can get a mini E-Tank thing. Probably not worth it to try. Not gonna risk dying there. Then this final segment really encapsulates the platform gimmick. You know, whether you know what you're doing with it or not. You have to wait here, get this platform up, and then quickly jump up. Pretty clever challenge. This last part is really tough. So. And dying here sends you back halfway across the stage. This is a really bad placement. No, actually. Could have stayed on the platform and then jumped afterwards. This game is definitely harder than a lot of other classic Mega Man games. Really tough all around. I don't have much commentary for places that I have to retread. Kind of sucks. I understand the point of the checkpoints being sparse is to kind of encourage better play, I guess, but something about this kind of irks me, having to go across half of the entire state just to get back. But, you know. It's supposed to be hard. That enemy doesn't despawn. Strange. And I screwed that up again. Alright. I'll try not to mess this up again. Alright, that went just fine that time. You have to stay on that platform to take care of that last enemy. As for Yo-Yo Man himself, he has a good pattern. He's well telegraphed. What you want to do is kind of just slide out of his way. You always want to be as far away from him as possible. Just jump in the middle like this, slide away from him. This attack is pretty easy to dodge. You want to shoot him in the middle here. Again, I liked charge shots for this because, you know, it allows you to rack on the damage really quickly. I've cornered myself. That attack where he does the yo-yos diagonally is pretty difficult to dodge. You have to jump really quite precisely in the middle of those two. But it's all fair. There's nothing cheap about the fight, really. You just have to know how it works and then execute well. Which is pretty much how any good Mega Man fight works. So the weapon, Yo-Yo Cutter. Basically Metal Blade, but it crawls on the ground and it boomerangs. So kind of a mix of Shadow Blade and Metal Blade, with some Search Snake elements, I suppose you could say. I wanted to do kind of longer videos, I suppose, but it's already been 20 minutes nearly, so I think I'm going to cut off here. Most likely due to how difficult this game is, it's going to have to be 2 masters at a time, but I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next video.